And I think some of the main challenges the industry is going to face will be continuing raw material price levels. They're high. We've still got the war in Ukraine. There's still impact on the global raw material prices. So we're going to have to deal with that. We're still not, the staffing challenges have not gone away post-COVID and all the way through COVID. Actually, we had a lot of staffing challenges as an industry, and it seems in most countries I go to that is a critical issue that they're still going to have to deal with. Shortage of staff and skilled staff to run the operations. So that's a big challenge.
Welcome everyone, this is MTech Accelerate. My name is Nikolai Shitikhin and I have Jim Johnston with me. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing really good, Nick, and you?
I'm doing wonderful. It is our first episode of 2023. So I guess it's a good time to look around a little bit, look back at 2022 and maybe see what's in store for this new year.
Absolutely, and Happy New Year to you, Nick, while we're on. Yeah, nice new year. So let's see what fun we're going to have in the poultry industry in 2023. Yeah, I mean, last year was pretty tough, but I guess we've also got lots of challenges, but we've also got a very successful year for MTech, and I think it's worth mentioning that we, from a sales point of view, started projects in some new countries, in Indonesia, in Chile, and also in Germany, one that you're involved with yourself in terms of implementation. So. Yeah, a successful year. I mean, we grew the business. Employee numbers went up about 15% over the last 12 months as we help our customers with the solutions and also continue to develop the software tools that we've got.
Yeah, and it's also probably important to mention that even though we have all the new countries and we're working on more, we're still very strong on our what I call traditional markets, like in Americas, for example, quite a lot of customer base and growing and upgrading to the new products, which is also very important.
Yeah, I think that's true, and we've really pushed on with the new product. Amino has taken a grip, and we're transitioning existing customers out of the old protein solution into the new SaaS cloud-hosted Amino solution, and that's happening quite rapidly. So it's really providing a real tool, a real benefit to the customers, old and new.
Yeah, it's great to see that customers are willing to invest into technologies these days, and it's good for us, and also it shows that technologies are really making the difference. We see that now. Customers see that and believe in technology that can help in multiple different areas, even in the tough years like 22, where we had all kinds of issues. I remember when we talked at the end of 2021, when COVID was kind of easing off, and we hoped for a nice and easy year, everything would be going up. Well, some of it was, but there's still every year is not a joke in the poultry industry, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, we obviously had a whole different range of challenges in the last 12 months, and challenges that aren't going away anytime soon, so there's a rollover from some of these issues in 22 into 23, and I think some of the main challenges the industry is going to face will be continuing raw material price levels. They're high. We've still got the war in Ukraine. There's still impact on the global raw material prices. So we're going to have to deal with that. We're still not, the staffing challenges have not gone away post-COVID and all the way through COVID. Actually, we had a lot of staffing challenges as an industry, and it seems in most countries I go to that is a critical issue that they're still going to have to deal with. Shortage of staff and skilled staff to run the operations. So that's a big challenge. And of course, here in Europe, we've had probably the worst year. I mean, we're only in the mid-season now in terms of avian influenza, but the impact of that Europe, and I know also in the United States and some South American countries is being felt quite severely, and I guess that won't go away anytime soon, will it? So there's a lot of challenges: high energy prices, high raw material prices, significant disease challenges, and staff shortages. These are challenges the industry will have to continue to deal with in 2023.
Yeah, some of those things are just kind of rolling from year to year, and it always has like a new twist, right? So during COVID times, people were not able to go and travel, or were not able to go and see farms, and they stuck at homes or in the offices, or in their area. So that gave us a hard time. Then now people moved back to their home countries, for example, or found another jobs that provide a better security. So now we don't have that stuff to work on the farms, to work at the plants. So it's crazy. Like you said, avian influenza was bad, very bad, and it's still going. I read on the news more than 2,000 outbreaks in Europe. 2,000 outbreaks. It's crazy. Yeah, but maybe let's talk about how we can help. It's no ideal solution for everything, or there is no single solution that can help with everything. As you know, all good recipes have multiple ingredients, but let's talk about the ones we know and strong at.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a new favorite word, Nick. I mean, my favorite word for 2023 is resilience. I think we need to help customers, MTech customers, and companies that operate in the poultry industry build resilience into their business to be able to deal with these dynamic challenges that we've just been talking about. And the MTech solutions, there's a whole range of tools there, and we talk a lot about the problems. Yeah. How do we help our customers? What are the solutions or the tools that we can add to their toolbox? So if we talk about some of these challenges, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we need to continually become more competitive. The industry has to be better at what it does. It has to get improved bird performance. It has to get lower cost of production in a inflationary environment. So, there's even greater challenge there. So what tool or what tools would we suggest down on the farm that may well support that, Nick, from the MTech suite?
Yeah, so it's a good question, and I think that's the right angle, to talk about this, because companies should be more optimized to the realities. And one of those things that is very important and good these days, it's precision farming. I hate that word, really, precision farming, but it is what it is. We need to produce more with the resources that we already have. So how do we do that? So we need to engage in implementing more technology at the farm. And one of the solutions there is sonar, which is our IoT solution, where we connect farms with the sensors, we connect to the control panels at the farms, or we provide individual set of sensors that work together and provide the data almost in the real time, which helps tremendously on visibility. It helps to pinpoint the issues and find where the problems are.
Yeah, I think that's a great solution, and just creating that real-time visibility on what's happening in the chicken houses or the chicken barns provides that extra impetus and focus to resolving challenges quicker, to addressing issues quicker that can impact on performance. So I think MTech's Sonar IoT solution is a real great prospect for the future, and one which is, we know, growing in terms of our own customer base. The other area on performance, I guess, is looking at how can you use data without the IoT, but how can you use data just to help generate benchmarking, look at your best performers, how they're doing that, your worst performers, identify the poorer quartile performing farms for management attention and focus. And I guess our MTech Amino solution, the cloud-hosted data management solution, is really driven around reporting and generating that visibility for an organization. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great because like you said, we need to bring those lower performing flocks up because as we all know, we already have a very good genetic materials. In pretty much any breed you take, you can get the maximum out of it. But then how you do it, or what is happening with the ones that are not giving you the results you expect, and this is where you need to have a strong data management platform that will allow you to see and to identify where the weak points are. And the funny thing was, I was engaging in some discussion in the comments on the internet, and one fellow was trying to convince me that the happiest chicken is the one that lives at the like a farm that's in the old barn, and he just wandering around everywhere. I'm like, but how do you know that chicken is happy? You don't have any measurements other than there is a chicken and there is a barn, right? And this is where sonar and amino package would really help to understand, is this chicken happy? Is this chicken growing correctly? Is this chicken eating properly, drinking properly? Is the temperature okay? Is the humidity fine? And this is where you will be able to say, oh, okay, yeah, this one is happy. This one is not so happy, so we need to do something about that.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk to me about, global benchmarking and comparing their performance with other companies in other countries. Ultimately, yeah, that's a nice exercise. What is real though in terms of benchmarking is looking at your own performance, your internal benchmarking. You often find that significant range and variability in performance from your own farms or your own houses, and it's about understanding that better, and that's really what Amino tries to do, and tries to give you the visibility on to allow you to analyze that and really try and drill down and understand the differences between your better performing farms and your poorer performing farms, with the benefit of having not just the physical performance in that database, but also the cost of production. So the two work really hand in hand to help you drive continuous improvement across your farming base.
Yeah, and also like I really like this point that you need to concentrate on the internal benchmarking, because your unique situation is different from anybody else in the world. You have your geography, you have your resources, your houses are built differently, you might have a different environment and people, because most often, like you would see and find the surprising results if you start digging. So sometimes it's not necessarily the year the house was built that is affecting performance of the broiler flock. It's the farm manager who's taking care of those birds better than somebody else.
Yeah, indeed. And so that the internal benchmarking I've always found is very, very powerful. And of course, MTech Amino allows you to do that and, dynamically address and interrogate the performance. The other element, when we've got all this disruption, whether it's bird disease problems or changes in product mix requirement from processing plants at short notice, is how do we manage the supply chain more efficiently? I think that's always a challenge, and over the last 3 years, I guess it's becoming an even greater challenge as to how we manage this dynamic, ever-changing situation. So, I mean, how would the planning tools then within Amino start to help companies address this?
I really like this one. I really enjoy planning. So yeah, this is a good question, Jim. So in the supply chain, and you know this better than I do, every change, especially early in the supply chain, if you change something in the breeders, this will affect your hatchability, this will affect your broiler performance, and at the end of the day, it will affect what kind of products you produce. So ability to really react and build scenarios if you need to is where the power is. It's sometimes not so the accuracy, right? So the accuracy is always a mysterious topic because it's live production. Sometimes you can have a very good projection, but then the disease comes in, or there is a change in feed, or there is a something else, the water quality changes, and all of your projection goes to trash. So you need to reproject, and the faster you can reproject, the better results you actually will get. Because what we saw with COVID, some companies couldn't quickly enough replan and rebuild their business to the new models, and they suffered. The ones who managed to change, they survived, and they got stronger. And also, I think the planning component inside Amino is very important when companies are growing, when companies are developing, so that you would be able to see, okay, so what if I want to build 5 more houses? Or what if we acquire this business? How many more eggs we'll get? How many more kilos of meat we'll be able to produce? And then you can compare it to your market and say, okay, yeah, this is a good investment, or this is not so good investment. Maybe we should increase our, performance in here. So maybe, okay, what if we get 2% more production for every flock? Maybe that will be sufficient in order to grow our market instead of buying a new company. I think this is where the power of planning is.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think the fact that you get with the amino planning solution, you get a full supply chain benefit that's operating within the one system. So that whole cascading of breeder placements, breeder depletion age, hatch and egg production, through chicks into broilers, right through to live weight to plant in one system gives you significant advantages. Of course, it's not just about managing the birds, it's also about managing feed, raw materials, vaccines, medication, everything you require to manage these birds through that life cycle. So that is all there within the one planning solution within Amino on that supply chain planning. So it's very, very powerful. I mean, it's powerful more than solving your day-to-day production problems. It's also helping you manage working capital, which has become a more difficult challenge to do with all these things that are going on in the industry. I mean, with raw materials costing in some cases 2.5 times what they were 12 months ago, your working capital is under significantly more pressure, and so you need tools that help you be lean in terms of the way you manage the supply chain, and MTech can provide that. So again, these are tools that we talked about. My favorite word, resilience, and these tools are actually helping companies build in significant amount of resilience, and that these are tools that help you have a bit more time to evaluate, as you said, scenarios, and then ultimately look at what is the best scenario in this situation for the company to maximize, the orders to its customers, to reduce as much as possible its cost of production, and to manage its working capital. So if we take that to the processing plant, I mean, I think one of the most exciting developments over the last couple of years, I think, within MTech has been the ProLine solution, which is focused around planning from the live bird on the receiving bay, on the weighbridge at the processing plant, all the way through to individual stock keeping units or products for different customers. So how do we match the live birds coming into processing plant with our sales orders and the inventory we've got, etc.? I think ProLine is a very exciting tool, again, to help companies to build resilience into the way they plan and the way they utilize the carcasses, the different weight ranges, and it's quite a stunning tool. But the other thing is we've had in a processing plant environment, labor. Where is our labor coming from. And I've not spoken to any processing plant manager in the last 12 months who's got a whole pool of labor or as many people as he wants every day to run his processing plant. So they have labor shortages, and as we continue to go into 2023, this problem will not go away. So again, the ProLine solution really gives you the ability to maximize your order execution, to do it as efficiently as possible, but to understand exactly the numbers of people and what production areas they need to be utilized in the processing plant to really maximize that order execution. So it's an exciting product. I mean, I don't know, what do you think of ProLine, Nick? I mean, from your experience of it.
No, this is a super nice product, and we talked in our previous episode about it. Yeah, I really like what again, why my passion with planning, it kind of fulfills it because the planning part is the end of the supply chain for many companies, because if you don't have your own supermarket or your market where you sell your products, you go to the retail or you go to the larger chains and they will sell your product. But the important bit is to what to produce, what to package, and how to minimize the waste, because you've been growing this product for a long period of time, from breeder bird to egg to chick to broiler, and then it finally arrives to the plant. And this is where you can gain or lose. If you produce the right product in the right time with minimum waste, and again, the stuff is here important, because if you bring lots of people for packaging or for grading or for anything, and then you produce all the whole bird and you don't need all those people, then you're losing money. Or you produce something high labor intensive product with additional packaging, maybe some marinating or something like that, and then you don't have market for it and you have to freeze it, then the value of that product drops and you don't have as much margin from it as you would expect. And again, this is where it's very, very strategic, and in many cases it's all push and pull, right? Okay, so you get this product, you produce this product mix that is optimal for your cost savings, people you have, lines that you operate on, and then you need to push. You need to push your salespeople to go and sell that product to the market. Or in the longer term, you would need to do the opposite way. You see what is the projection for the market, or you estimate what will be the sales volumes, and then you'll need to optimize all of your supply chain in order to produce this chicken. And ProLine really helps to kind of perfect that picture. So your live operations is all planned, is all fine, and then you push it through the plant and see what is the end result. I think that's really marvelous.
Yeah, no, and it's a very powerful tool. It's giving a planner, again, it's buying them some time to look at what's the best solution that optimizes my order execution, utilizes the inventory we have, manages the packaging stock, whether you got the right weight of bird or not. You can't make a particular stock keeping unit if you don't have the right labels and trays and cartons and stuff. So again, all of that needs to be managed as part of the solution, and ProLine helps companies achieve that. So I mean, I guess this last few minutes has been quite interesting, Nick, for me, because we're actually talking about real challenges that the industry will face in 2023, and potentially providing some solutions or tools for them to be able to manage their business more efficiently, more effectively. And I guess, we certainly would like to wish all of our viewers and all of our customers, and hopefully to-be customers that are watching this podcast as well, a very happy and prosperous 2023. And, maybe we can help them make it more prosperous utilizing MTech solutions.
Absolutely, yeah, and I join with you, Jim, here, wishing everyone a good year. I hope that maybe not all, but some of the issues will go away, and we'll be able to breathe a little bit easier. Yeah, so wish everyone a good year, and we'll see you in the next episodes. So if you don't want to miss them, please join us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Twitter. See you in the next one.
See you then, Nick.
Cheers.